talking like that.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl Portia, and you already know I'm back with another braiding video. So as you can tell by the description below, today we're going to be doing feed-in braids, except these are not any normal feed-in braids. These are feed-in braids with designs, and it's not just one design, it's not just two designs, it's not just three designs, we'll be doing 4 different designs. So you guys, this is one of my younger clients, and her mom actually had 3 different feed-in styles in mind. So what I did is I made sure that she got all 3, because not only were we trying to give her a nice, cute, age-appropriate look, but we're also trying to get her something that's going to last her a long time. So as you saw me doing at the beginning of the video, I parted her hair in a curved or squiggly part, whichever one you want to call it. And now we're doing the second design, which is a small cornrow in between the 2 feed-in braids. So you guys see me parting along that curve so that I can make sure that the braid has the same form as the rest of the hairstyle. So you guys can watch me part this braid, and then I'm going to cornrow it, and I'll be back once we start the third design. Alright guys, so what I did here is I parted off a leaf size part. I got this design inspiration actually from Neek Lynn, and I'm going to put the link to her video down in my description, but she called it a leaf size part. So it's basically just like a half oval, I guess I would call it, where I parted it off so that way I can braid that section. Except the thing about this design is I only braid along the edge. It's like normally how whenever you cornrow, you make sure that you have an even amount of hair on both sides. With this side, in this design, I'm actually only going to be braiding on one side. So what you guys are going to see me do is once I part, and lay down all these hairs from here so they won't fly into my braid, you're actually going to see me part and dilute that leaf size section and actually put edge control or my jam into like each one of the little parts that I part out. So like right here, I'm going to start by putting edge control on the outside so I can make sure that it lays down correctly, because the thing about this design is you have to make sure that it lays completely flat. So you guys are going to see me keep parting these sections, putting jam on it, and then combing them down in order to make sure that they're laying down. guys, so what you see me doing here is actually what I was telling you guys about earlier, which I hope made sense, but if not, I'm going to explain it for you guys. So as you can see, I've taken my jam and I've laid that entire part of that leaf size section down. And what I'm going to do is I'm like taking my comb and I'm smoothing it out to make sure that there are no lumps or bumps on the inside of that parted section. So after I do that, what you're going to start seeing me do is I'm going to take a little small section on the back of my comb, the flat section, and making sure that it's completely flat. So now what you're seeing me do is starting my braid with my comb. So I parted out a little section so that way I can split it into 3 like you're going to see me do right now. And then I'm going to start braiding only along the edge of my part. So as you guys can see what I'm doing, I'm taking that 3-piece section that I did and I'm starting to braid along the edge, only along the edge. And as I do it, I'm taking my thumb and I'm making sure that I keep that flat part down, and I'm making sure that I keep the hair that's going to go into my large feet and braids away from my braid. So like I said, you're going to see me braid the hair along the edge only. You guys will also see me go through, like I'm doing right now, and use my comb and comb all those knots and tangles out that also might get in there along the way. Because as I'm braiding, of course, my hand is moving some of that hair and making it, lift a little bit. So I use my comb once again to keep it flat. Okay guys, so as you can see, I got to the end of the braid and I actually did braid it all the way down. And now you see me going back with my comb and making sure that I flatten the braid a little bit more. And now we're gonna move on to the other side, which I did the exact same thing that I did on the right side, except for the sake of the video being too long, I didn't show you guys the entire process over again, but I did the same thing. I started by using my jam, laying it flat, parting it into sections, putting more jam in between to lay it flat, and now you guys are going to see me braid it. So stay tuned, and then we're going to move on to the 4th design. Okay, you guys, so as you can tell, I finished that last braid. And what we're actually doing is moving on now to the fourth and final design. So for those of you keeping up, we done 3 designs already. We did the curved part, we did the braid along the curved part, the small feet and braid, and then we just did the 2 leaf size or leaf parted braids. And now we're moving on to these 2 rectangular shaped cornrows that are going to go on both sides of her head. So that's right, there's going to be 2 on the right side and 2 on the left side. I just wanted to say to everyone who's made it this far in the video, thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. You can also hit that like button and that post notification bell so that you can keep your eyes out for every video that I'm going to post in the future. And if you guys are enjoying these videos, let me know down in the comments below. And if not, let me know what I could do better. I'm always open to critiques. So I hope you guys are enjoying this video, and I'm gonna stop talking now. Bye. Okay guys, so now I'm getting ready to start my large feet in braids, and I'm using the same method that I used in the leaf braids, where I parted small sections and I put my gem on the inside in order to lay it down, and this just ensures that the braid is as neat looking and as flat as possible. Okay, so to those of you who are new on my channel and didn't see my previous video on my cat braids on how I explain how I put my hair on the rack, what I do is I put the larger pieces on the bottom and I make them smaller as I go up. So that way my braid will build naturally as I grab the pieces of hair and add them into my braid. So the reason you guys just saw me add more jam is because I wanted to make sure that that braid lay down as smooth as possible when I incorporated the leaf size section into there. And I also did the same thing on the side where those 2 rectangular braids are. And once I got down to the end of my client's hair, I added the middle small cornrow that I braided from earlier into that braid on the left side. And once I got all the way down to the end, I knotted it like I do in every other braiding style. And you guys are going to see me do the same method on this side that I've been using the entire video, where I put the jam on the top and on the back, and I parted off certain sections and put it in the middle to make sure that the braid laid as flat as possible. And you guys are going to see me braid it the same way that I did on the left side, and now where I incorporate the leaf size part and the 2 rectangular size braids. So usually in any style that I do, I ask my clients if they want their edges done. And, of course, with this being one of my younger clients, she did. But for those who don't want their edges done, I politely asked them if I could just do it for the purpose of, making my Instagram photos and videos looking nice and neat. Except I don't do anything heavy. I just do like a simple swoop. So at this point in the video, I just want to thank anybody who watched this video all the way through. Thank you so much. Even if you're subscribed or if you're not, I hope that you go and you press the subscribe button, like this video, share it, and leave a comment on what you guys want to see next or what you rate this style. And I hope that this style inspired you to maybe even get your hair done like this, or maybe even come to me and get your hair done like this. And I hope that you guys are staying safe during this pandemic. And now you guys can head over to my Instagram to like my post that I'm going to share of this video. Peace. How did I get here?